Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Trippy Commentaries. Thanks for joining me here in Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm RJ. We're here at the house of the Infinite 8 killer. You guys probably have heard of Merle Abrams. He's a guy who, I guess, not only killed his very young child, but also 8 random people here in San Andreas. He was then put into prison and killed. The thing is, he never actually admitted to doing the murders. We all know that he went crazy and became obsessed with the number 8 for some reason, but I think that there's still more to it, and there might even be a different ending than many people think. Thanks again for joining up here at the channel. Definitely subscribe if you're new. We have tons of live streams planned for you guys. They're going to be pretty epic as we complete our 100% playthrough of the game. So definitely hit the notification button. It'll let you guys know when we go live. So let's check out this house, guys. Once again, this is Merle Abrams' house, and it looks like it was burnt down long before the main storyline started. So for some reason, people were so disgusted with this guy that they burnt down his house. Isn't that kind of crazy? In fact, they say that a neighbor burnt down his house, and we do know he has one neighbor. That's not too far at all. Could it possibly be Trevor? Because if you remember, Trevor has a history of burning down houses. It seems to be his go-to. Anyways, so this says, "Go away, Merle Abrams. You're a wrong'em." That's kind of strange. There's a bunch of 8s there. Do you think that there's a possibility that maybe Trevor wrote that? Or it could possibly be another crazy member of Sandy Shores. Obviously, there's a lot of really insane people that live nearby. Cletus is not too far away either. So you have these tallies all around the house as well. You can see this one, but they equate to the number 15. So it has nothing to do with the number 8 in that case. So is it maybe the hiker or, the jogger who we actually kidnapped? Were they counting down the days until they died? Was it maybe Merle Abrams telling down the numbers for something else? That is definitely suspicious because, like I said, it really doesn't have much to do with the number 8. And one thing that I will point out, 8 is just infinity stood up. So if you're wondering the connection between the Infinity 8 killer, well, infinity is 8, really, if you just turn it on its side. So that's certainly interesting as well. So did this guy actually kill 8 random people here in San Andreas? Considering there is the story that he killed, I think it was like his less than 1-year-old child, that's highly fucked up. Check this out, guys. Looks like there's possibly some body parts or something in jars. Once again, this has been pretty much burnt down for quite a while. So I guess that stuff is still left over. There's some more tallies. So this is just the first location that we're going to check out. I believe that this is an unsolved mystery, just like some other mysteries here in the game. Possibly the Chiliad mystery. So let me know what you guys think. If you have any intel when it comes to the Infinite 8 killer, let's check out some other locations, and I'll let you guys know what I think is going on here. This is the second location, a huge rock not too far away from Merle Abrams' burnt down house. I will point out that that house burnt down while Merle Abrams was incarcerated, so it was impossible for him to burn down his own house. If that's what you were thinking, it was definitely an outside source. So you have this 8 on one side. Over here there's some other 8s next to a poem. The poem says, 1 is done, 2 was fun, 3 tried to run, 4 called mom, 5's not alive, 6 is nix, 7's in heaven, and 8 won't wait. I do think it's interesting how for some reason 4 does not rhyme. The rest are definitely meant to rhyme. But 4 called mom? Maybe there's something to that. But this points out that he probably was the killer. I was thinking he is crazy, it kind of documents how he went psychotic and became obsessed with infinity and the number 8, but that doesn't necessarily prove that he's a killer. Maybe he still had a companion or somebody who was helping him out, killing all these random people. I guess they were all joggers from the area, but this does have some ominous tones to it for sure. 5's not alive. That proves that there was definitely some dead people here. But I think that this guy was maybe smarter than people give him credit for. He's writing out these poems, he's being very cryptic. This could also show that a lot of these mysteries here in Grand Theft Auto 5 don't really have a conclusive ending. You know, it seems like Rockstar is starting off the mysteries, but not give us a definitive ending, which is strange because if you played LA Noire, that whole game, which, you know, that was made by Rockstar Games, that was all made around solving mysteries. So why are they giving us mysteries in this game that are so inconclusive? Let's check out the next location. There's 4 different destinations when it comes to the Infinite 8 Killer, at least that I know of, and they're all not too far away from one another. Here we are at the famous Sandy Shores hangout spot, the Yellow Jacket Inn. Many people believe that the bloody footprints found around the pool table are those of the Infinite 8 Killer. I'm not sure about that. That is definitely up for debate, but I will say that Trevor is supposed to be barred from this bar. He's not allowed in. You can see they really don't seem to care too much right now, but maybe the fact that he's barred from coming in here, you have the bloody footprints that are linked to the Infinite 8 Killer, maybe there's some sort of connection. This next location is yet another burnt down house. If you come over to this section, you'll find an entire article, no Trevor, not on the roof, about Merle Abrams. And this one's definitely crazy because it talks about how he died in prison and he never actually confessed to the murders. He was awaiting trial for torture and abduction when he was killed. Now, these victims were 8 young single men. They were all killed while they were jogging. Considering that Trevor is not too far away from Merle Abrams, and I would think he would probably be the one killing some random people jogging around Sandy Shores, that's where I'm starting to think that maybe Trevor is involved. Could he have possibly pinned it on Merle Abrams? Definitely a possibility, guys. What do you think? Another burnt down house. I'll see you at the next location. Here's some more 8s. Now, these ones seem to be leading possibly to the alien hippie camp. Could the aliens be involved in this as well? Now, there's one last message that says, "They want me, they can have, but they'll never get my people. Even though I shall leave them sign enough where they put me." That's a little bit weird. I really don't get that one completely. Where they put me, I guess, is the prison. Here we are at the deadliest location in all of GTA 5, the Bolingbroke Penitentiary. If you don't have the invincibility cheat in like we do, you will die in probably a couple of seconds. So here's the final message, guys. It says, "Where water meets land and fire once spewed forth, there the Infinite 8 shall stay until I return." Now this one is insane. First of all, this could be proof that Mount Chiliad is a volcano. It also has a map showing apparently where the Infinite 8 will stay. It even has the north, so it shows you it is on the north end of the map. We'll have to check that location, the northernmost point in all of San Andreas. But this is weird, guys. It says, "Until I return." Is it possible that these 8 victims are really 8 sacrifices? Remember, the jetpack symbol, the same one from the Mount Chiliad mural, can be found at the Altruist camp. And with all of these different writings found on the side of walls and everything, could it be that the Mount Chiliad mural was also made by Merle Abrams? And that is why the jetpack symbol, the same symbol from the mural, can be found on the sacrificial stone. So could Merle Abrams be doing 8 sacrifices? This is probably the most cryptic message of them all, guys. Is he trying to maybe make a return until I return? Or is it talking about when he escapes or gets let go out of prison? Definitely let me know what you guys think. This one is insane. Damn, guys, there is blood everywhere. Let's head to the northernmost point of Grand Theft Auto 5 and visit the Infinite 8 Islands. So the cops never discovered the bodies of the Infinite 8 Killer's victims. I guess Trevor will have to be the very first one. Here you can see the first body. I will point out that in the early days of GTA 5, people were having a hard time finding the 8th body, but as you can see, they've all been discovered now, which means we can definitely confirm that these are the Infinite 8 deaths. Crazy stuff, guys. You come to the northernmost point in GTA 5, and this is what you find. Look at that, guys. It almost looks like the bodies were mummified. Considering you have these Egyptian clues with the Chiliad mystery, you never know. Maybe the mummification is involved as well. So in the end, after Rockstar takes us all over the map to different locations, discovering the bodies of the Infinite 8 killer's victims, there's still no fitting conclusion. You know, once we find the bodies, really nothing happens, and we still don't know for sure if the Infinite 8 killer is really the one who did everything. Considering you have the burnt down houses, including one that happened while the killer was in prison, I still think that Trevor is lined up to this, guys. There's been a ton of messages found around the game talking about karma, and it really does kind of come around with Trevor, how in the end, if you choose to kill him, he gets burnt alive. So why is fire referenced with Trevor? And of course you have these houses burnt down by someone other than Merle Abrams himself. It is said to be Merle Abrams' neighbor, and it looks to me like Trevor is Merle Abrams' neighbor who probably burnt down his house. I believe that Trevor is the Infinite 8 killer, and somehow he pinned it onto Merle Abrams. Now, Merle Abrams is crazy, and I'm sure that he's probably up to something himself, but I think Trevor is the one that killed these people. And one of my proofs is that if you look at that poem, as I mentioned how one talked about the mom, I think the mom is Mrs. Phillips, Trevor's mom. If you remember, there's one mission at the end where Trevor does reunite with his mom, but it's only for a brief moment, and then you never see her again. Possibly because Trevor killed her, and that is some sort of ghost or, you know, something playing with his head. You can almost tell the way that Trevor acts. You know, he is very sorry, and he just feels bad for killing his mom. I think he definitely regrets it. But that's all the evidence I have, guys. It's an open-ended answer, and if there really was, you know, kind of a conclusive ending to the Infinite 8 mystery, if it is really Trevor who is the Infinite 8 killer, I think that's a pretty crazy ending. And when it comes to Merle Abrams, you know, the guy possibly writing all this stuff on the side of walls and rocks and all this, you know, is he the one who wrote the mural right here on the top of Mount Chiliad with the bodies not too far away from the mountain itself? And if you think about his obsession with the number 8, how many boxes are on the Chiliad mural? There are 8 of them. On top of that, the jetpack symbol, which can be found here on the mural, is only found in one other location, and that is in the Altruist camp. Who's a member of the Altruist cult? None other than Trevor, guys. Let me know what you think. I know it is crazy, but I think that Trevor is the Infinite 8 killer. Stay tuned here at Trippy Commentaries. We are currently working on our 100% playthrough, getting to the very end of that, where we kill off Michael, Trevor's best friend, once and for all. So hopefully you can join up for that. I'll catch you guys later on for the live stream. Have a great weekend, and as always, make sure to stay trippy, my friends.